What's up, everybody? So I figured it'd be a good time to make this video because there's definitely going to be a lot of food on this channel in the future. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do with their body, so this may not apply to everybody, but I just want to say that when a person feels like they're generally carrying a little bit too much body weight, it's because they have a very large appetite. And in simpler terms, it just means that they're hungry very often. So with that being said, in order to fulfill their hunger, they eat more calories than than they would need to maintain their current body weight, because that's what they need to do to feel comfortable. Now, I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist, but I do have a little bit of experience in dropping some weight and keeping it off. Here is a picture of me back in 2014 where I weighed 210 pounds, and here's a picture of me 2 years ago in 2018 when I'm about 163 or 164 pounds. Right now I'm somewhere in the middle, but I think I've done a pretty decent job of keeping it off, keeping most of the weight off in that time period. So first of all, I want to say that 90% of diets fail. And the reason that is because when somebody wants to lose weight, they'll go ahead and they'll say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my calories. So I'm going to go on lower calories and I'm going to increase physical activity. And generally this is fine because at the end of the day, calories in versus calories out is what controls weight. However, the issue with this is that people that decide to cut their calories and increase physical activity, they'll start eating that way, and then right when they hit their goal weight, after however much time goes by, they'll hit their goal weight and they'll say, okay, I hit my goal weight, now I can go off of my diet. And what they'll do is they'll go back to eating to their appetite so they can feel comfortable, and they'll gain all the weight back before they know it. And they say, well, diets don't work, so why should I do it? What needs to actually happen is that a person needs to completely change the way that they eat. And as far as physical activity goes, it's going to be very important, but the foundation of losing weight and maintaining weight is going to be the way that a person eats. Unfortunately, people with that large appetite and who are hungry very often will have a harder time with this because it will force them to be more uncomfortable. So the only way, once again, to keep that weight off is to eat similarly to how you were eating on the diet. So essentially, you have to make a complete lifestyle change, and you have to eat this way forever in order to keep the weight off. Otherwise, if you go back to eating that way, you're just going to gain the weight back. And it's unfortunate, it's going to be uncomfortable, but there are certain ways to make this easier, and I have a couple tips here. Number one, find your maintenance calories. So as far as your maintenance goes, take a week or two and track everything that you eat and just see exactly how much you need to eat to maintain your current body weight. Now, it's going to be different for everybody. That's why I say take 2, even 3 weeks to go ahead and do it. Remember, it's not a race, or it's not a race. It's to find out exactly what will work for you. So once you're able to measure all your food, that's when you can find that maintenance, and you'll be able to know exactly what you're putting in your body. As far as measuring your food goes, weighing it out and finding out exactly what's the calories and everything that you eat. Some people think it's a little bit excessive and it's overkill, but it really is the best way to see exactly what you're putting in your body, and it is the best way for the most accurate results. It leaves nothing up to chance. Also, there's no reason, once you find your maintenance, there's no reason to try and go on a huge deficit because you're not going to be able to keep that up consistently. The best thing you can do is go on a small deficit, 200-300 calories, and see if you can keep that up consistently. That long-term consistency is always going to beat short-term intensity. So just remember that. Take it easy. Slow and steady wins the race. Number 2 is going to be find an eating pattern that works for you. So I personally like to do intermittent fasting because it allows me to eat bigger meals, and also it allows me to push my food back later in the day so I can eat a little bit later and I don't have to be hungry when I go to bed. That helps for me. For some people, it may be eat 5-6 meals a day with less calories in them, and with that being said, they'll be less hungry throughout the day and they'll be able to do that. It's just a matter of what works for you. Number 3 is eat high fiber and high protein. On top of just being plain healthy for you, fiber and protein are generally satiating. It's very difficult to eat large amounts of these, so keep that high fiber and high protein up. Number 4, drink plenty of water. So just stay hydrated. Once again, on top of it being good for you, for many reasons. It's also just going to fill you up more. So the more water you drink, the less time you'll spend thinking about food. You'll feel more full. Number 6, drink some caffeine. For this similar reason, it can curb your appetite. Don't go crazy with the caffeine. Too much won't be good for you. But a few cups of coffee during the day, it's not going to hurt you. It will help you to suppress your appetite. Number 6 will be find a hobby. Now, it's easy to get bored, and you hear a lot of people say, well, I'm just bored, so I'm going to eat. It's easy to just say, well, I'm going to eat to pass the time. Find a hobby, whether it be playing a musical instrument, reading books, video games, Netflix, etc. No matter what it may be, keep your mind off that food. It's going to help you in the long run. And finally, number 7, lift weights, do resistance training, calisthenics, push-ups, pull-ups, get in the gym, do your squats, just resistance train, strength train. It will build more muscle mass and it will allow you to burn calories faster. Now, don't go crazy with this, because let's say your maintenance is 2,500 calories and you start lifting weights, you build a lot of muscle over a couple of years, you may increase to 2,700 or 2,800 calorie maintenance. Do not go crazy with this. It's not like, oh, my maintenance is 2,500, now I can eat 5,000 because I've started to lift weights. It'll help you a little bit, give you a little bit more room to eat more, not too much though. And finally, just remember that none of this is anything special. There's no magic trick. All it is just everything that I've listed there. It's just tools in the toolkit. Use them as you will. Do what works best for you. At the end of the day, as far as weight loss goes, it will be calories in versus calories out. Of course, still be healthy, get your nutrition, but there is no secret. That's all it will come down to in the end. And that's the video. Thanks for watching.